Can you now talk about the Benazir Bhutto employee stock option scheme? I guess, what is it, and why you defend it, or why you have it's been alleged that you publicly defend it, and defense of it has been criticized for it encouraging workers to participate in private ownership, and it's a stepping stone to the privatization of some companies.
They're offering 12% free shares to the workers, and their net gain is in 100 and 1,000 rupees. So there is no plan of privatization. If there is any privatization, we will oppose it. And I have said this in the presence of the Prime Minister when there was a function. I will send you the copy of that of my speech. So there's no anything. If there is, maybe there may be a privatization. If there is no scheme, that no scheme, if they want to privatize, they can privatize. But we will oppose from that side. This is not any option for the privatization. No way, we will oppose it. And this is our position. But this time they are giving so many, a handsome amount to the workers, free. So that's why in the workers there is a favorable stance in the workers. And every time we are explaining that if there is any privatization, we will oppose it. So that is the position. So some people are explaining that this is for the privatization. This is for there may be behind any catch. If there will be any catch, we will fight it. So if you are not doing anything, you are only criticizing everything. So you are like a good commentator. If you are a commentator, you are not a player. You can say anything. You don't know how to play. So we are here doing lot of work with the workers of Pakistan. So I don't think that there may be any privatization. And if there is any privatization, we will oppose it.
Can you describe for me how your relationship with Zardari works? The relationship that you have with him, and what kind of pressures you may come under.
Actually, he is the co-chairman of the party. He's leading the party this time. And actually there's a long tradition within the PPP, left tradition, in the PPP. So many left leaders were in the PPP, so many long time. So there was a tradition. But there is another thing, that what they did in the PPP, what they have done in the PPP, they have done nothing. So he knows about me that I'm socialist. I never hide my ideas from anyone in the PPP, and he knows it. But PPP leadership always needed some left people. So on their side, they have needed me. Why? Because they have needed the left people. Because in the working class, they have needed some basis in the working class. So on the other hand, if they have needed me, then we are needed the PPP to bring our ideas to the working class. So that we are using these tactics, both sides. They are thinking that we are using him, using me also, but it's history will decide who has used better. Even in the last parliament, what I did, and at that time I was the hero. Now I'm the traitor in the eyes of few people. How is it possible within few days a hero become a traitor? It's ridiculous. What we did in the last, we are doing the same thing. So it's not the question of the few people. It's the question of the working class of Pakistan. They will decide who is right and who is wrong. They will decide who is the future. They will decide who is with them. They will decide who has the true ideas. They will decide. And their movement will decide who will lead them.
Okay. Is there anything else?
The allegation made by Alan Woods at last year's conference of the struggle was that you have become corrupt. We cannot support corruption in the labour movement, and therefore, these people, Manzoor and his allies, are all in the pay of the government. They said that your conference last year was full of people who were paid to come to the conference, and that you are basically a bunch of stooges for Zardari, for the intelligence services, or something of that nature.
In the last 5 years, when I have the offer of millions and millions of rupees, I've offered a ministry, I have offered so many things. I have refused. If I have refused these things, how is it possible that I can corrupt immediately after one night? When I have differ with these things, when they are destroying the whole organization, when they were destroying the 30 years work within 3 hours, that is the reason. So I have the positions in the PPP, but I have no any position in the government. I have refused. I just told you. So there's no question of any corruption. Who will decide that I am corrupt? If any person will decide, no working class of Pakistan will decide who is corrupt, who is incapable, who is with them, who is fighting for them. They know it. You can go in any town with me. You can go in any factory, in any institution. Look at the response of the people. People are not fooled. They will decide who is corrupt. They will decide who is spending the money from other countries. They will decide. So we have a very good base. We have respect in the workers. Workers will not respect any corrupt people. Worker knows it. They know it. Who is working for them? Who is behind these abolish of these laws? Who is behind them? Everyone knows in the whole country. Not in any city, in any factory, in any place. If the people are sitting in the dining rooms, they are deciding who is corrupt or who is not. This is not the case. The case is the working class of Pakistan, the trade union of Pakistan, the youth of Pakistan. They will decide who is right, who is wrong. I was in the elections in Gilgit-Baltistan. I was the in charge made by the PPP. And I won that election. Even there was an onslaught on the PPP. At that time, there was a plan to defeat the PPP in that elections. After that, we will argue that PPP is finished. No, we have won that elections, and the whole Pakistan know it. Who is behind that achievement?